Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract everything they desire, while others struggle constantly, no matter how hard they try? It may seem unfair, but the truth is that there's an invisible force at play, a force that few understand, yet it's accessible to everyone. Sadhguru reveals that just as a flower transforms the darkness of the soil into an irresistible fragrance, you too can transform your life, becoming a magnet of attraction. It's not a matter of luck or destiny, but of consciousness. What you exhale into the world comes back to you, amplified. And here's the secret no one told you. True transformation starts from within, the moment you open yourself to grace and allow it to flow through you. Ready to discover how to step out of the darkness and become that fragrance? Then keep reading and prepare yourself for a journey that will change the way you see the world. Sadhguru invites us to reflect on grace as the invisible force that holds everything around us, from the celestial bodies to our very existence. It's curious how often we overlook this understanding without realizing it. Grace, for him, is like the energy that permeates and connects all aspects of life. Imagine yourself on a starry night, gazing at the sky, not knowing where it begins or ends. That vastness is an example of grace in action. However, he warns, to truly feel this force, one must be open and sensitive beyond the ordinary. Now, think about how life would be different if more people were aware of this grace. If we could all look at the world with this expanded perspective, we would be able to see beauty even in the simplest and most mundane things. However, this requires letting go of the ego and the illusions of self-sufficiency that so often hold us back. A good exercise to cultivate this awareness is to practice gratitude daily. For instance, when you wake up, before checking your phone, take a few minutes to reflect on something you're grateful for. This simple practice can completely transform your day. And of course, it's impossible not to mention that to become receptive to this grace, we must be willing to abandon our limited worldview. It's not an easy task, but it's essential for those who seek a more fulfilling and connected life. This journey of transformation begins with the recognition that there is something greater than us, a force that sustains everything, including our very existence. As we deepen our consciousness, the next natural step is to explore how we can open ourselves even more to this energy, allowing it to flow freely in our lives. Opening yourself to grace isn't something that just happens. It's cultivated through consciousness and receptivity. Sadhguru points out that just as a flower transforms filth into fragrance, we, as human beings, also have the power to transform the experiences and energies we receive into something beautiful. However, for this to happen, we need to be fully aware of what we're absorbing and what we're releasing into the world. When a person becomes conscious of themselves and their surroundings, they begin to realize how small daily choices impact not only their life, but the lives of everyone around them. Let's think about this practically. Imagine you're having a tough day at work where everything seems to be going wrong. At that moment, you have two choices. You can let frustration take over and as a result, spread that negativity to others, or you can pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and try to see what's positive in the situation. Perhaps it's an opportunity to learn something new or to develop patience. This conscious choice is a direct reflection of how you transform the filth into fragrance in your life. By practicing this internal transformation, grace begins to manifest in unexpected ways. People around you notice the change and it creates a positive attraction effect. Instead of repelling, you start to attract good energies and opportunities simply because you've become someone who radiates something of value. And it's interesting to see how this internal change, no matter how subtle, has the power to deeply influence the environment around you. And speaking of environment, why not start applying this idea at home? Turn a simple moment, like preparing a meal, into a conscious practice. Put attention and love into every detail and see how it impacts not just the flavor, but the energy in your home. Sadhguru shares a story that deeply reflects on the consciousness of grace and how our attitude and behavior mirror this understanding. He narrates the encounter between a lost king and a blind sage, where the sage's keen perception reveals the true essence of each person who approaches him. This story serves as a powerful metaphor. Just like the sage, we must develop the ability to see beyond appearances. recognizing the true nature of people and situations. This is only possible when we are connected to grace and allow it to guide our perceptions and actions. In practice, this wisdom can be applied in various ways. Imagine a situation where you need to make an important decision, whether at work or in your personal life. Instead of letting anxiety or external pressure take over, pause and ask yourself, am I acting in accordance with my true essence, or am I being influenced by superficial factors? This reflection may seem simple, but it is incredibly powerful because it helps us align our actions with grace, resulting in more conscious and transformative choices. As we cultivate this awareness, we begin to realize that grace is not something distant or unattainable, but rather a force that is already present in our lives, just waiting to be recognized. Just as the tree transforms filth into fragrance, we can learn to extract the best from the most challenging circumstances and allow grace to manifest through us. And it's not about perfection, but about a continuous effort to be better, more conscious, more connected with this subtle force that transforms everything around us. Now that you understand this dynamic, imagine the impact it can have on your daily relationships, the decisions you make, and the energy you share with the world. Now that you know the power of grace and how it can completely transform your life, the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you continue living the same way, repeating old patterns? Or will you open yourself to the possibility of real transformation? The choice is yours. But remember, true attraction begins with the awareness of what you exhale into the world. So, how about starting to apply these teachings today? Observe your attitudes, your choices, and see how you can transform life's filth into something beautiful, into something that attracts everything you've always wanted. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning more about how to live in harmony with grace. Your journey of transformation is just beginning.